we'll watch that situation very carefully. Jerry, can you update us?
While we were in commercial, Bob, Davey just yelled to the crew, I think I've run over something on the track and cut a left front tire. They all scampered up to the pit wall with tires. Davey said, wait a minute. He said, it may not be cut. It may just be a vibrating exhaust pipe. So he ran another lap. He backed off the throttle for about half a lap. Then he came back to full throttle. I think it's okay, guys. I believe we're going to be all right. So everyone's heart skipped a beat down here in the Haviland pit.
But he has dropped from 6th to 9th position, as both Rusty and Terry Labonte have been able to get around him. Following this race, and again, we urge you to stay tuned if you have any love at all for auto racing and for the King, because we're going to present a very important and special program, Portrait of a King. That will be immediately following our live telecast of this Hooters 500. Dave Despain will be hosting that program, and it is a dandy. Elliott, the Georgia native, in front of his hometown fans, leads the Hooters 500. Alan Kulwicki not too far behind in second place.
He's only about 15 car lengths behind Bill. He's steadily, inch by inch, gaining on the Budweiser Ford. And when I mean inch by inch, that's basically what it is, just inches.
Not too far in front. You saw him there. Harry Gant is about to go a lap down. Dale Earnhardt just went around Harry Gant, so he has made up a lap on him. Really, Earnhardt's still running out in front of Elliott, and so now Gant has dropped to 12th. Earnhardt is 11th, but not too far from going a lap down. Gant's car is definitely off the pace a little bit now from what it was earlier.
There's Dale Earnhardt, who led earlier in this event, then lost a lap and gained it back.
Lost 2 laps, really. He was down 2 laps at one time, but has got both of them back. He's still in the caution.
And there is Harry Gant, who is 12th, and the last car on the lead lap as Bill Elliott tries now to lap him, making it just 11 cars on the lead lap.
Well, he closed right up on the back of Harry Gant. And here he goes on the outside of Harry. Puts him a lap down.
Dave Marcus, now he'll try to pass him. Dave is running in 19th position. By the way, if you're just joining us, it's 3 o'clock Eastern Time. And if you are just joining us, the situation is that King Richard Petty went out in a blaze of glory, but not the blaze that he wanted to. The car caught fire after he was involved in an accident here on the main straightaway. Richard is okay. However, the car is out of the race. Bill Elliott leads this event. Alan Kulwicki is in second position. Davey Allison is in 8th. So it's still very much a heated points battle. Now our Western Auto race recap. Bill Elliott has led 60 of the 184 laps. There have been 4 caution periods for a total of 29 circuits. There are 12 cars, make that 11 now on the lead lap, as Harry Gant has gone a lap down. 8 leaders and 16 lead changes, and the average speed is a little over 127 miles an hour. The drivers who have picked up 5 bonus points for leading include Martin, who is out of the race, Earnhardt, Elliott, Irvin, Allison, Kulwicki, Jeff Bodine, and Brett Bodine, who led the first lap, but then was involved in a multi-car tangle down in turn number 1 on the second lap. Out of the race, Strickland and Brett Bodine were both taken to a local hospital to be checked up. They were not seriously injured. Stanley Smith, Dick Trickle, Ken Schrader, Bob Shack, Richard Petty, Wally Dallenbach, Rich Bickle, and Jeff Gordon have all gone to the garage area. Jeff Gordon, the most recent. Tony Glover leads the Mechanic of the Year standings from Western Auto, as we see Harry Gant in the pits in the upper left of your screen. Steve Meal is second in the Mechanic of the Year standings, followed by Donnie Richardson, Danny Glad, and Tim Broom.
Unscheduled pit stop for Harry Gant in the Skoal-Vandit Oldsmobile. He had slowed on the racetrack, not dramatically, but he was definitely off the pace a little bit. Apparently had a vibration or something, and could be a bad shock, but he thought maybe it could be tires, so they've changed all 4 tires now. Let's see.
Keeping you updated on the point situation all race long. If they were awarded right now, Allison would have a two-point victory.
And Elliott and Kwiecki would be tied
for
2
second.
points behind.
Wow, you can't get much closer than this. Here's Jerry Punch.
Guys, you think we're watching it upstairs? I'm in the Davey Allison pit. Now, this statistical sheet you're looking at right here was developed by Bob Lafford, who actually helped develop the current point system way back in 1975. We have Davey Allison in this column, Alan Kwiecki, and Bill Elliott. Davey Allison currently, what, an 8th spot? That's how many points he would have. And if you turn and look at Alan Kwiecki in second or at Elliott in first, that's what he would have. So they are watching very closely a statistical chart here to see every single spot counts, and every single heart is beating rather quickly here in the Allison pit, guys.
And thank goodness for people like Nelson Crozier, who was holding that sheet. Nelson's one of those behind-the-scenes guys that play a very valuable role in presenting these NASCAR Winston Cup telecasts to you throughout the season. Bill Elliott of the Budweiser Ford leads the Hooters 500 as Jeff Gordon has dropped out of his first NASCAR Winston Cup race. And so if that happened, if they finished tied, who has the most victories?
Davey Allison.
No, for second.
Apparently, Ricky Rudd
Elliott has.
Okay.
Apparently, Ricky Rudd wants relief, and they went to get Jeff Gordon, but now, of course, they won't let Jeff Gordon get in the car because he's a rookie. So they're having to find someone else because Rudd fought that power steering problem.
Oh, okay.
He's a rookie. Yep. Still a rookie. Yep.
No rookie can relief drive.
Now, if Kwiecki catches Bill Elliott and passes him, it's a momentous occasion because that would put Kwiecki in the lead for the Winston Cup. Well, I mean, I don't think it's the first time this year, but if points awarded right then, he would be the leader.
That's right. Okay.
We all know that glare can become a serious problem for a driver late in the afternoon. Well, in years past, the solution was quite simple. You merely tint a major portion of the right side of your windshield, thereby minimizing the glare from the setting sun across the turn. See, NASCAR thought this may be a safety hazard because a driver following behind Richard Petty in his STP Pontiac might not be able to see through this heavily tinted area to a car spinning or maybe a blown engine up front. So in 1992, they said no more tint across the bulk of the windshield. You basically have been limited to a factory tinting job. The upper 5 inches here is all you can tint. This increases visibility for cars and drivers following Richard Petty. They can see through the front of his windshield to a possible problem up front, but also they can see inside the cockpit now as Richard may decide to use a hand signal to wave and say, hey, I've got a problem or I'm slowing down. Both cars in front and behind can see that. So a new 1992 NASCAR rule to improve safety on the racetrack.
And that's a very important piece of information because of the sun that becomes a major problem here in the late afternoon, and we are just about to that point.
It's no problem now. We're going down in turn 1. But watch this. If we can stay with him until he gets to the back straightaway, you're going to see just what a problem it can be. We're only about halfway of the race, just a little over halfway. It's going to get worse every minute until the end of the race. Now it goes into turn 3. We can see as he drives into the sun, and as I said, it gets worse every lap.
Morgan Shepherd right now, Bob, is one of the fastest cars on the racetrack. The Citgo Ford is really running fast, but he's 3 laps down, unfortunately. But whatever the problem was, they got it fixed.
Yeah, he is in 22nd position, but back up to speed. Here's an Autolite field summary for you. Watch for your favorite driver.
Another great run for Jimmy Spencer up in 3rd spot, and look at Davey Allison back in 8th.
11 cars are on the lead lap. The last car on the lead lap is Dale Earnhardt.
Harry Gant now 2 laps down. Bobby Hillin in the 90 car, sponsored today by Wrangler. Remember Wrangler jeans that was Earnhardt's sponsor for so long?
Lake Speed now finds himself 8 laps down. He had a good run going earlier, but obviously the car not performing up to snuff, and he's dropped 8 laps off the pace.
And there we see Earnhardt and Bill Elliott about to put Earnhardt another lap down.
A lap down, yeah.
A lap down there. Right now, Earnhardt is in the lead lap. Jeopardy is going a lap down. Watch as he goes high. Elliott running on the bottom of the racetrack. And here, Allison about to lose another spot. And if Sterling Marlin gets by, that would put Alan Kawicki in the lead for the Winston Cup. He's only 2 points ahead. It's 4 points, the difference in these 2 spots, if Sterling Marlin can get by.
Well, let's see, did we have Elliott and Allen tied for the lead?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, second.
Right.
So that would put Elliott in the lead. Because Elliott has more victories
than Allen.
Yeah.
But there's that sun we talked about just a moment ago.
From Sterling Marlin's car, it is obviously a problem now and will be later. Well, he reached 189 before braking in turn 1.
That's been pretty consistent. That's been consistently what's been all day. And I watch Sterling don't look behind him because Jeff Bodine is trying to go by him on the inside. There goes Bodine. But the slower car of Eddie Beerswall was down there. Jeff had to back out.
Well, you can see how critical that sun is going to become. Jerry?
Indeed, it is going to be very, very critical this summer. But let me show you what's going on here in the Davey Allison pit. They are getting very concerned about what's happening in the point battle. Davey's car not handling well. Gary Beveridge, Ryan Pemberton, and Joey Knuckles are building an aluminum patch for that brush panel in the left rear of the car. Now, they take a piece of aluminum, and they have cut it. And now listen to Ryan Pemberton. They're saying the car catches wind going in the corner and pitches to one side, causing Davey to lose a lot of time. So they're going to try to come in on the next scheduled stop, pull the left rear fender away, put this aluminum patch in, and hope that it works.
Well, you pull out all stops in the final race. Thoughts are being traded down there, and we'll see what they do when Davey comes in for his next pit stop. Meanwhile, Jeff Bodine has gotten around Sterling Marlin, and now Jeff has his sights set on Davey.
And he is much faster than Davey Allison right now. Race for 8th spot.
Oh, and a car to the wall. It's Dale Earnhardt in turn 2. And this is the caution that Davey needed to come in and get that work done if they're going to do it.
Boy, oh boy. Davey, you're living right today. Gets a caution flag at the right time.
Bill Elliott had just put a lap on Dale Earnhardt.
Earnhardt's car is moving at the bottom of the racetrack down the backstretch, but he made contact with the wall in turn 2.
Looks like you got the left side pretty flat. Looks like the left side has been flattened out on that race car.
Yep. It's our 5th caution of the day, and it comes on lap 203. As we're 125 laps away from the conclusion of this race. Joey Knuckles wearing the crew cam, waiting on Davey to come in.
We see Larry McReynolds, that's Larry, the crew chief, talking to Davey, telling Davey what they're planning on doing when he comes in the pits. Still talking to Davey. Now the pace car has picked up the field, so the next time they'll be coming in the pits.
The pits will be open. There's the pace car with the field in tow, coming through corner number 3 now, as Davey Allison catches up to the rear of the field.
You think you've seen confusion before? Just wait till he gets in the pits and they start trying to drill holes and pop rivet and tape and... Man, oh man. I wish I was there just to watch it. We see it's got some damage on the left front of that car. Something's hit the left front.
Well, Elliott, Kowicki, Spencer, Irvin, Rudd, Rusty Wallace, Terry Labonte, Allison, Jeff Bodine, and Sterling Marlin all are on pit road. Jerry, Davey is coming to you.
And pit road is extremely busy right now. Here is Davey Allison in the pits, And the crew now going to work on the left front air dam. We're on the crew cam. Now you watch Joey Knuckles rip off that right front tire. Put the right front tire back in place. Meanwhile, the crew now hustling around, trying to pull some of the air dam out of the front of the car. And now they're 11 and 7 now, both. Elliott and Kowicki have exited pit road, still working here on the Davey Allison car. They have pulled some of the sheet metal away. They're beating the air dam out of the front of the car. Have replaced all 4 tires, now using a major sledgehammer on the left rear. And you see on the crew cam, they are fixing the front of the car. You're watching Joey Knuckles as he is trying to bend some of that front air dam away. Ryan Pemberton now and Knuckles working in unison, putting some tape on the car. Let's listen in.
Car beat up in the front end, beat up in the rear end. Still trying to hold on and win that championship.
Don't you guess that front damage was done when he radioed in and told his pit crew, I think I've run over something on the racetrack?
Exactly. And he cut the left front tire down right in front of the left front. He hit something on the racetrack.
We are under caution for the 5th time this afternoon because of an incident involving Dale Earnhardt in turn number 2. Back in a moment.
The shot of Davey coming down pit road, we can see a spot in the front air dam where something has hit it. Remember I said he's hit something with the front air dam? That's what they're working on. They're not working on the left rear, they're working on the left front.
And he had radioed in way back there,
right,
and told his crew that he thought he ran over something.
Yep. Put up on the road this car.
It's the first opportunity they've had to do that.
That front air dam damage was somewhat of a surprise to the guys. Remember, they cannot see that low on the racetrack as the cars come by due to the pit wall. The wall separating the track and pit road. So when he came down pit road and they saw that big indention in the air dam, they said, yeah, you definitely hit something. But he was fortunate he didn't cut a tire. They're bringing him back in here to do some more work. Just trying to get ready for it.
Is there any damage to Earnhardt's car?
Come back, Benny.
Oh. Are you down by Earnhardt?
No, I'm in Davies' pit.
Okay. I can't see. Oh. No. The shot from turn 1. Okay.
Gotcha. Allison pulls off pit road after his second visit there in this caution period. They have already signaled the field that they'll get the green flag next time around. So Davey will now start from the rear of the field, and if points were awarded right now, Bill Elliott and Alan Kowicki would tie in points for the NASCAR Winston Cup Championship, but Elliott would get the crown because he's won more races. Allison, who is currently 10th in the standings, would finish in 3rd.
I tell you what,
6 laps completed.
Bill Elliott leading the race, Alan Kowicki running second. We're seeing a race for $1 million. If that 7 can pass the 11, it's worth about $1.4 million. Whoa!
That's pretty good sum of money.
Pretty strong, isn't it?
Just about to go green in the Hooters 500. The green will come out on lap 208.
Poor Kowicki knows that. He'd have a heart attack if he does, so don't tell him, whatever. There's Kyle Petty on the inside of Kowicki trying to get a lap back. And we can see how these two cars running side by side is slowing both of them down.
position.
Should be at that third place.
Yep. Dale Jarrett in car number 18 being shown 14th. Maybe a little contact there in the backstretch.
It was close. Spencer goes by. Rusty Wallace is running 5th. We're looking at 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And here comes Ernie down on the inside again.
He dives off the 4th corner to the inside, and at the line, they are virtually side by side.
For you Earnhardt fans, he did make it back to the pits, and his car still sits on pit road. They're working on the GM Goodrich Chevrolet. Here's Kowicki trying to get by Elliott. He takes the lead and would win the championship right now. Uh-oh, but spoke too soon.
Look at Bill. He's coming back on the outside, but no. Kowicki is going to lead this lap by a half a car length.
Here comes Bill back. Takes the lead back.
That's the way to race for a championship.
That's the way to go for a championship.
And the fans at home, I hope, are loving it, because we are.
And Ernie Irvin watching all this. He's getting closer and closer.
He sure is.
Watch, he's right on the back bumper of both these cars now.
Yeah, he wants to get up there and spoil that party.
Kowicki holding the inside line and Elliott holding the high line.
He just can't get up there. We can go up the racetrack and take the lead from Elliott.
Well, both of these guys know that Davey Allison has had problems, and they say, let's forget about Davey. We're going to slug it out for the But here comes Ernie Irvin.
That's it. Attaboy, Ern. Back out of there, boy.
Look at Jimmy Spencer. He's right in there, too.
These cars, as they run side by side, are
now I know they touched.
That scared them both to death. Maybe they'll back off and get in line now. Now, here comes Kowicki back again. Here comes Ernie. He's going to help out. And
Very definitely plays hard on this racetrack.
I mean, it's almost like someone said, hey, guys, you're racing for $1 million. Go for it. And Kowicki now has the lead.
Irvin to challenge Bill Elliott for second. And Ernie Irvin does pick up second position.
I don't know. Here comes Bill back. They're side by side, going in 3.
Challenges Bill Elliott for third. Boy, Spencer has given this car a great ride since he's had it, hasn't he?
He sure has. Bill Elliott just made a pit stop, changed 4 tires. Evidently, those tires just not exactly right.
Great shot from Airship Shamu. Over turns 1 and 2 here at Atlanta.
Spencer takes a spot away, puts Elliott back to 4th place.
There's Earnhardt back out on the track.
And there is Davey Allison, who is back in the 9th position.
And there's the leader, Alan Kowicki.
Don't go away, folks. We've got a tremendous race to settle for you. Not only a race, but a race for the championship. Try that again, huh? Yeah, I got it when I'm ready. Gotcha. Oh, okay. Okay. The grand finale of the NASCAR Winston Cup season for 1992, the Hooters 500, live from Atlanta Motor Speedway in Hampton, Georgia. We're delighted you could be with us. Our Speed World coverage is being brought to you by Autolite Spark Plugs, guaranteed for 2 years, no matter how far you go. By Wrangler, the most comfortable jeans known to man. And by Quaker State, the big Q is one tough motor oil. Well, a whale of a view comes to us from Airship Shamu. The blimp represents SeaWorld parks in Florida, California, Ohio, and Texas. Get it? Whale of a view, Betty. And as of now, Alan Kulwicki has the Winston Cup by 3 points over Allison. Bill Elliott, who is running 4th in the race, would finish 3rd in the point standings. Davey has just passed Sterling Marlin,
which now puts him back in front by 1 point.
It's too tough to keep up with. It is so close.
Well, of course, there are 5 other points to be factored in here if one of those drivers lead the most laps.
Yeah.
Which that has not been determined yet. Bill Elliott probably has led more up to this point than anyone else.
5th place battle is between Rusty Wallace and Terry Labonte.
Wallace has it, Labonte wants it. And Dale Earnhardt, we talked about him a moment ago, he will go off of the Winner Circle, NASCAR's Winner Circle program in 1993, Ned.
Boy, that's the first time probably in 10 years.
In 10 years, that car has been off the Winner Circle program. Only 9 cars are eligible, and there's been 9 cars this year that has won twice. Earnhardt only won once.
You were talking about the driver who could pick up 5 bonus points for leading the most laps. At this point, Bill Elliott has led the most, 85. But we're not finished yet. In fact, we've got 105 laps to go.
Speaking of Elliott, here he comes back. Jimmy Spencer passed him just a couple of laps ago. Now Elliott trying to get back by Spencer.
Since Jimmy Spencer and Bobby Allison teamed up in this car at Charlotte, they have had a 4th, an 11th, a 5th, and currently Jimmy Spencer is running in 3rd position. Being pursued by Bill Elliott.
Busch Grand National race from Hickory last week, and you saw Jimmy Spencer bump Joe Nemechek. Everyone thought it was deliberate. I talked to Spencer about that, not on tape, but I talked to him about it. He said, I would never be that stupid. I like the boy. He said there was a car coming down pit road. Honest to God, I thought the guy was coming on the racetrack, so I went up in the middle of the racetrack.
Here's a field snapshot as you watch for your favorite driver and use the clock to tell how far behind the leader he is running on the racetrack. We started the clock when the leader, Alan Kulwicki, tripped the line. And here he comes, completing the lap in 31.9 seconds. Now, I have trouble adding and subtracting. Let me see if I can figure that out in my head to how fast he's going. This is carry the 171.7 miles an hour, Betty, on that lap.
Thank you, Kenny Martin.
Elliott has passed Jimmy Spencer and gone to 3rd. Here's how it happened.
Going down the back straightaway, has position on the inside, goes in the corner, and Spencer graciously backs up, lets him take the spot away.
I believe this set of tires might have been a little bit tight on Elliott's car. Now that they're getting heated up, it seems to be coming back in a little bit.
Elliott is in 3rd. Kulwicki is the leader. Davey Allison running 7th. And the points battle has boiled down to these 3 drivers. Mark Martin is already out of the race, if you're just joining us. And Richard Petty also retired from competition, and not the way he wanted to. He was involved in a crash. He's okay, but out of his last Winston Cup race. Back in just a moment.
tell you what, guys, this is exciting stuff.
All right. Yep. I got you. Oh. What is the deal with you and headsets? Yep. Yep.
Hello. How's my headset? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dennis, my headset okay? Coming in the pits, unscheduled.
Speedway, where Alan Kulwicki in the Hooters Ford leads the Hooters 500, and the average speed of the race at this point is a little over 131 miles an hour. Bill Elliott is on the move. He has taken over second place from Ernie Irvan.
And two of the front-running cars have made pit stops. Jimmy Spencer just came in. Looked like he just topped the gas tank off. That doesn't make sense.
What was that all about?
I don't know. And Sterling Marlin was just in. They changed tires on his car.
All kinds of interesting things going on here, and it has been an interesting race to this point. It got off on a very bad note because as they completed lap number 1, we had the first crash of the race. It involved Brett Bodine in number 26 and the pole sitter Rick Mast. Bodine with hard contact on the outside wall. Hut Strickland came along and hit Brett very, very hard. Both of those two drivers have been sent to a local hospital. During the fracas, it was Hut Strickland who hit the left rear of Davey Allison's car, upsetting the car somewhat. However, Davey has not let it bother him too much. Then later in the race, another multi-car tangle as Dick Trickle and Ken Schrader came down. Also involved Darrell Waltrip, Wally Dallenbach Jr., and King Richard Petty. You can see flames from a car in the middle of the straightaway. He took the car down to the inside of the racetrack and in fact parked it near a fire truck. But Richard Petty ended the final race of his 35-year career in that way. Richard was not injured, but it was a spectacular way to end a long and illustrious career. And this is how it looked from Richard Petty's perspective. He hit Rich Bickle in the back end, also made contact with another car, and then the flames became evident from the left front of the race car.
Hello, get rid of fire! Bring fire extinguisher!
Richard Petty directing the fire extinguishers. And now we move to more recent activity as Alan Kulwicki was able to pass Bill Elliott just a few laps ago and take the lead of the Hooters 500. And that's the situation as we speak. Alan Kulwicki is in front. Bill Elliott is running second, and Ernie Irvan is running in third position.
And there's a live shot of Alan Kulwicki down in turns 1 and 2, exit in turn 2. He's doing everything he can to win a championship. Davey Allison, meanwhile, doing everything he can to protect his championship. Allison has now worked his way up to the 6th spot.
And those two incidents that you mentioned, namely the pit stops by Spencer and Sterling Marlin actually helped Davey.
Oh, yeah, moving up 2 positions. That's 10 points.
There's Bill Elliott.
Actually, I think it'd be 9 points from where he was, but definitely helped.
There's Elliott trying his best to do all he can do. He has led the most laps of anyone.
Looking for the 28 car. There he is. Just ahead of Ricky Rudd.
He has passed Rudd. And Rudd did fix his power steering problem the last time.
Yeah, they had the hood up on the Tide Chevrolet, and they did make some repairs. Let's find out why Jimmy Spencer came in for some gas, John.
Complicated than that, Bob. He came down on pit road because there was a big piece of paper stuck to the grill, and the engine was overheating. He may have stayed out a little bit too long because the crew just told me that they think the motor's about to blow. And also, Sterling Marlin changed 4 tires. He apparently felt like he had one going down.
That's the update on the 12 car. Sterling Marlin's mentioned also came in for an unscheduled pit stops, and both of those came just 30 laps after their regularly scheduled pit stops. We may be a little premature in telling you that Richard Petty is out of the race because they're working on the car. Hopefully he'll be on the track when the checkered flag drops. If points were awarded right now, Davey Allison would be champion, Kowicki second, and Bill Elliott third. They going to go yellow? Yes, they do. Yellow is out. He dumped it big time.
Who?
Bobby.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, okay. Good.
Hey.
Okay.
Hey, guys, the thing with Ricky Rudd, they have tried to find different relief drivers for him, but on that last caution period, they were able to put the new belt on.
Okay,
They got
good.
the power steering fixed. They got Mark Martin back in here, and Mark was going to go in and drive, but Ricky decided he could go ahead and handle it. They were looking for Ken Schrader. They had Jeff Gordon in the pits, then he had to leave, and then Mark Martin came back to the pit area, but they don't need him now.
Okay, good. Thank you. Sixth caution period of the afternoon at Atlanta Motor Speedway because of a blown engine on the number 90 car driven by Bobby Hillen Jr. Dumped down some oil here on the main straightaway, and that brought out the caution flag. And so it's an opportunity for these drivers to come in once again and get some fresh tires and some gasoline on the 2:42 lap mark.
I don't think they'll be able to make it the rest of the way on this fuel, so there'll be at least one more stop. Here comes the leader, Kowicki, down pit road. Here's Elliott.
And Jerry Punch will be calling these pit stops.
And Benny, answering your question first, they will not be able to make it all the way unless Bill Elliott gets extra very good gas mileage. We're talking about 86 laps from here to lap 328 as they make their way down pit road. 7 on the top of your screen, 11 on the bottom, 7 come 11. They're rolling the dice here in Atlanta. Watch the crews go to work as Alan Kowicki's Hooters crew will change 4 tires on the top of your screen. All the Budweiser crew now going to work on Bill Elliott's car on the bottom. These 2 drivers vying for $1.4 million here in the last 86 laps at Atlanta. Here's car number 7 exiting pit road, 4 tires being changed there. And you see them from turn 1, they all are scampering back on the track as Kowicki beats Elliott back on the racetrack, and they resume positions here under the caution.
Just barely did he beat Bill Elliott out. And Rusty Wallace comes out in 3rd position. We'll take another break while we are under caution from the Hooters 500 at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
The 22 and the 68 pitted there. They were not supposed to. They're supposed to go to the rear of the longest line because they were.
Who was 68 and who?
22 and 68.
Okay.
what, this thing's been something else, ain't it?
Man. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yep. Gotcha.
Who's putting air in that tire?
Who?
Spencer.
Still under caution. Here are the top 10. Alan Kowicki leads. Bill Elliott, Rusty Wallace, Ernie Irvin, Terry Labonte. 6 through 10, Davey Allison, Ricky Rudd, Jeff Bodine, Jimmy Spencer, and Kyle Petty. Beautiful overhead view of Atlanta Motor Speedway as a record crowd has gathered to watch this event. If points were awarded right now, Davey Allison would win the Winston Cup. Kowicki would finish second, then Elliott, Kyle Petty, Harry Gant, and Mark Martin. Davey Allison 6th, Kowicki is the leader, and Elliott is second at this point. Now tonight on ESPN at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 5 o'clock Pacific, it's the New York Giants against the Denver Broncos. Don't miss it. NFL action tonight on ESPN, the Giants and the Broncos. We'll have more of our live coverage from Atlanta Motor Speedway after this.
What are they doing to Rudd's car down there?
You're doing something to the window.
Trying to get some air in it?
The calculations I'm getting from here from most of the crews, they can go anywhere from 63 to 66 laps. No one can obviously go 86 laps. So the question mark then comes, they're going to pit around lap 305. What do? Gas only, 2 tires, and that's the big question mark here in the Kowicki pit and in Elliott's pit, right?
You're doing Gillette first?
Okay, a while ago with the belt, the alternator also is not working, so they're having to change the battery, and they've had problems getting that little side window off of there. So now Ricky's they've got it off. They're gonna send him back out. He'll come back in the next time, and they'll drop that battery in there. They've got that quick change deal.
I almost read that thing. Under our 6th caution of the day at Atlanta Motor Speedway, and our congratulations to Kenny Henderson, 41-year-old from Cleveland, Alabama, who knew that Ernie Irvin was leading at the halfway point and won a beautiful Chevrolet Lumina in the Gillette Halfway Challenge. We congratulate Kenny Henderson. He'll be tooling around the streets of Cleveland, Alabama in a brand new Chevrolet Lumina Z34. Well, there have been pit stops made, but now there is some very interesting strategy regarding what we do from this point forward. Jerry Punch with an explanation.
Bob, you think your calculator is busy? Behind me, Danny Glad and the crew are working to try to get the pit calculations done. They pitted with 86 laps to go. They know they can make it about 64 or 65 laps on fuel. That brings them on pit road on lap 306 to 308 with 20 or 22 laps remaining. The big question mark then, what do? Gas only, 2 tires, and that's going to be the big gamble that could determine who wins the Winston Cup title.
All those questions and a lot more will be answered here in the next hour or so as we get down to the conclusion of this race. The big question, of course, who is going to win the NASCAR Winston Cup title? And it is still very much undecided at this point.
What Felix was talking to Paul Andrews about is that Kyle's a lap down. That if Allen would let Kyle back in the lead lap, that'll put Davey further back in the field and give Allen actually 5 more points on the position change. So there's some finagling going on down here.
I tell you there are.
My goodness, like Wall Street or something. Man. They'll get the green flag next time around and will resume the Hooters 500, being led at the moment by Alan Kulwicki. Now, as of a couple of laps ago, and Kulwicki has led both of those, Elliott had led 85 laps, Martin 47, Earnhardt 44, and now Kulwicki has led 41. If those of you who are keeping the bonus point situation, because the leader of the most laps will pick up 5 extra points, and that could be the determining factor.
Well, right now, that would tie, if Davey Allison is in 6th spot, that would tie Alan Kulwicki and Davey Allison. Allison would still be the champion because he's won more races than Kulwicki, but man, it is so close.
I'm telling you, this is something. It was everything that we had hoped it would be. 2 abreast formation being aligned on the backstretch.
Kyle Petty's a lap down.
Still has a fast car. Hasn't been quite fast enough to get back in the lead lap.
There are 9 cars on the lead lap. Kyle is 10th. Look at Elliott. Giving Allen a little encouragement, huh?
He's not trying. He's not going to let Allen get any advantage on him, is he? We saw Davey Allison.
Pace car comes in. We're set to go green once again on lap 250. Look at the crowd here, and they're loving every minute of it. Green flag waves. Here we go again. A lot of oil drying here on the main straightaway because of Bobby Hilley Jr.'s blown engine. Don't let that concern you. They'll kick up some dust, but it is all for the better. Kyle fails to get his lap back as Allen takes off. Leaves Elliott in his dust.
Morgan Shepard trying to go by Bill Elliott. Well, you know Elliott doesn't want that to happen, but Morgan wants to get back to the front, try to get some of his laps back. What do you say, Dennis? 3 down?
Yeah, 3 down, but he has a very fast race car. Since he got it fixed, whatever the problem was, he has been very fast.
He's 17th, 3 laps down.
Here we see Ted Musgrave on the inside of late speed. Meanwhile, Ernie Irvin back there has got by Rusty Wallace. He's currently running 3rd.
Kulwicki leading and Petty trying to get that lap back, and Allen has never had a top 5 finish in Atlanta in 14 previous events. This by far his best outing at Atlanta Motor Speedway, and he is using the best time to do it.
But for the last 3 years here, he has earned more points.
Oh, look out. Davey Allison is in the crash, Bob.
Ernie Irvin, and it's all over for Davey Allison.
No, it's not over yet. I don't think he hit him that hard, maybe.
Well, he hit pretty well, I think.
He's got a lot of damage to the right side of the car.
Ernie Irvin spinning, coming off of corner number 4.
Davey has got his car moving.
Yeah, he's trying to pull away.
But he can't steer it.
But it won't turn.
It won't turn. The right front will not work. Oh, no, the right front won't work. He's broken the tie rod end off the car, so when they turn the steering wheel, the right front tire won't turn. And there he's a lap down.
Kyle Petty got his lap back. He beat Alan Kulwicki back to the start-finish line.
Davey desperately trying to get the car to turn, but it won't happen. The car will back up, but he cannot turn the car and move it ahead to clear Ernie Irvin.
He's broken a tie rod on the right front. Like I said, when he turns the steering wheel, the right front tire won't turn.
And now it's going to come down to 2. Will it be Alan Kowicki or Bill Elliott? Davey Allison's long, tough, emotional season has come to an end.
And folks, I hope you don't think that I'm pulling for Davey Allison, for Alan Kowicki or Bill Elliott. I just hate to see it because we had everything going so much. Their Ernie goes up high. We see the 4 car, and all of a sudden the car just goes around. He loses control. When he saves it, he comes back right in front of Davey Allison. I think that was the only 2 cars involved in the crash.
So often we're criticized for showing partiality to one driver or another. I really have no concerns as to who wins the championship. The best man will win it. But I'm glad to see the Davey Allison's out of the car okay.
Yeah, he knows his
it's over.
championship hopes are over.
But there will be other years. There's no question about that. And I'm sure, as Davey will tell you, if we do have an interview with him, he waves to the fans as he gets in the ambulance that regardless of what has happened here, he's had a tremendous season.
Once again, we'll watch Rusty Wallace. Ernie goes by. When he gets the car sideways, Rusty gets by. But comes back across the racetrack right directly in front of Davey Allison.
Jerry Punch.
Guys, obviously the mood here in the Davey Allison pit is quite somber, but let me tell you what Larry McReynolds said. You talk about a competitor. Now, Larry McReynolds is the crew chief for Davey Allison. He turned and said, guys, the championship may be over, but we're going to fix this car and still fight for 3rd, 4th, 5th, somewhere in the points. We're not going to quit. And off they took, running up pit road to try to wait for the car to be pulled in. So, believe me, there is no quit here in this Havoline team.
And only for the 2nd time since 1979 will the points leader going into this final race not win the Winston Cup Championship. Davey Allison's Texaco Havoline Ford is on the record, headed back toward the garage area, and Davey Allison is in the ambulance. He'll be checked over at the infield medical center, but he was okay when he got out of the car, waving to the fans as they saluted his attempt to win the Winston Cup that has come to an end here near lap 254. We'll take a break and be back with more from Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Yeah,
I don't think he did.
Yeah, he got out.
Oh, he did?
Yeah,
I didn't see him.
Yeah, he walked to the ambulance.
Damaged car of Ernie Irvin now is removed from the front straightaway right at the start-finish line here in Atlanta, as the 7th caution period remains out because of the accident involving Ernie and Davey Allison, whose championship hopes are now over. This is how it happened. Watch Ernie Irvin, whose car is up high on the racetrack.
Right in the center of the racetrack, the yellow car. He loses control. Comes across the racetrack. When he saves it, it goes back across the racetrack right in front of Davey Allison. And again, that was the only 2 cars involved.
And that's how it ended for Davey.
There's Liz, Davey's wife.
Ryan Vandercook there, who does public relations for Havoline Texaco. You can see that Liz obviously is very disappointed. Been an emotional year for all of the Allisons.
What did I say at the top of the show? Whoever has the least amount of bad luck.
That is right. That's the way it's been the last few races. Not somebody winning the championship, but somebody losing it. And the car goes back into the garage.
Ryan Pemberton right there closest to us. Roman Koshimishu with the jag stands.
They'll take a look. If they can get the car repaired, they'll put it back out there, and maybe Davey can complete a few more laps and maintain a good finish in the point standings.
It looks like Allen's going to try a gas and go here in just a minute and see if he can make it all the way.
Good idea, Alan. Whoops.
But they just
forget that, huh?
Oh well, the best lane. They didn't know it was one to go either. Sort of like yesterday. They were waiting to call him in for a gas and go, and they just started pounding their fists. So
yeah, they got 71 laps to go. That
the 55 cars, the 55 cars in for gas and go.
Terry Labonte.
Maybe 94 car in for gas and go.
Okay.
Yep.
Elliott probably could make it. He did in March.
Yeah.
They already did it.
And we're still not factored in the most led laps, right?
Yep. Yes.
Okay.
NASCAR Winston Cup points as of right now. Alan Kulwicki on top by 10 over Bill Elliott. Davey has fallen to third. Right now 19th in the serial scoring. Kyle Petty is 8th, Harry Gant 17th, and Mark Martin is already out of the race. And by the way, being factored into those point standings are the number of laps being led. Now the green flag comes out and we resume our competition with Alan Kulwicki leading Elliott. It's down to a shootout between those two drivers. We're watching from the roof cam with Morgan Shepherd.
Smoke out of Kulwicki's car?
Oh, Benny.
What was that?
Well, Morgan is moving to the inside of him.
Oh, look out, boy. Don't have another one right here.
Oh, man.
If they haven't done so, Allen's crew needs, spotter says, hey, he's 3 laps down. Let him go.
Yeah, but here comes Elliott. Now, he's closing up right on the back bumper, but that's because these cars are running side by side and slowing both of them down. And Elliott is going to try. Is he going on the outside?
No, he won't do that. He's too smart.
Sterling Marlin also is right in the hunt there, but he's a lap down.
Trying to get a lap back.
He made an unscheduled green flag pit stop. Got him a lap down.
Alan Kulwicki was wooed by Junior Johnson to join his team, but Alan decided to go independently, and Alan is showing right now that that was the way to go.
Look at that sun, the glare that these guys are going into. Right now, Kulwicki looks like he's able to get ahead of Morgan Shepherd. He has. And he gets a tough break. Bill Elliott doesn't have to race with Morgan. He gets right by. Well, I said he wasn't going to race with him. Here comes Morgan back.
Battling back to the inside, and yeah, pulling at least a half car length ahead of Bill in the middle of the backstretch. But now Elliott pulls away in the corners.
Blake Speed still in the race. Good run for him.
Blake is in 21st position. 8 laps now.
What a strange twist and turn of events we've had today.
It has been an interesting season. It has been an even more interesting race.
And here comes Bill Elliott.
Now what he has to do is pass Alan Kowicki and keep him from leading the most laps.
That's exactly right. And I'm sure that Tim Brewer, Junior Johnson, those guys are smart enough to realize, Bill, you've got to pass that 7 and lead the rest of the way. If you do that, we can win this baby. Because they would be tied if he can do that. And Elliott has won more times this year than Kowicki would make him the winner.
That's the way to do it. He's going for it.
Here he comes.
Closing in. Not able to pass. This is the interval of about 2 car lengths.
Are you as nervous as I am, Bob?
Yeah. I just hope these two guys don't do anything silly and take each other out. But there is a lot of work going on back in the garage area as Larry McReynolds and everybody else tries to get that Ford back in operating conditions or at least be around when the checkered flag drops.
And to finish 3rd in the point standings, because Kyle Petty might, I don't know if he could or not, but he might be able to overtake Davey Ellison and take 3rd away from him. Here's Elliott. There's Davey.
Davey and Liz emerge from the medical center. Imagine he wants to get over the car as quickly as possible.
There's John.
John Kernan. John Kernan is right there. Go ahead, John.
Well, Davey, you're okay. But, man, I'll tell you, what a way to end the championship hunt.
Well, John, you know, that's just the way it goes sometimes. We had some troubles, and we're trying to work our way back up there, just trying to run a smart race, and ran over something in turn 3 earlier in the race, and we had to come in and repair the car from that. We caught a lucky caution flag, and I thought, all right, we're going to be okay now. And then I saw Ernie get loose over there in 4, and, you know, we just ran out of room. You know, I hate it for all of them guys in the garage area. Everybody at Robert Yates Racing deserves a lot better than this, and, you know, they deserve to win that championship this year, and we didn't get it, so we'll just go back and we'll get ready for next year, and we'll come out and try again. It just wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, but Davey, with the up and down year you've had, you've certainly showed a championship heart.
Well, we appreciate all the support everybody has showed us, and, you know, the fans have been great. All the letters of encouragement, the phone calls and everything have been fantastic, and, you know, we want to tell everybody we appreciate that, but this wasn't our year.
Davey Allison carried a great deal of momentum into 92 from the 91 season, and I think he'll keep that momentum going as we head for 1993. Didn't win the championship, but gave it everything he could. We'll be right back.